Good afternoon, guys. Just about, of course, just after lunchtime, 12:30 on the 20th of January, 26, of course, as we go into tonight's game with Sheffield Wednesday, looking for our third away victory of the season. Hopefully, this is a good opportunity for us. Sheffield have had a bit of a shitty sort of recent past. I do feel sorry for them. We've been there ourselves, no money, shitty owners, fines and deductions and all that sort of stuff that goes with it. So I do feel sorry for them, but not sorry enough to hope they get anything out of tonight's game. Of course not. We're going to do what we usually do, have a little look around. A little bit sorry about yesterday. I don't know what happened. I must have accidentally turned the comments off. I don't know how I did it, but I was told that if there's an awful lot of comments coming through at one time, then then Facebook can actually like knock them off. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. We've got a couple of viewers, so it'd be good if you can come and say hello to me now, and just so I know that you're getting my comments and everything's good. It would be good. Please come and speak. Then we can get on with it, can't we? We do this. We go through this ritual every day, of course. Um, I know we've got some people on, so we've only got a couple on, but one of you can come and say hello. Then I know that everything is looking good. Lost a little bit of control on my device there for a second. Um, so yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about regarding transfers as well. No comments yet, but let's hope we get one soon because I'm starting to worry that the comments are still off for some reason. Perhaps they are, I don't know. Um, but just come and say hello, then I know we can get on with it and everything will be cool. So please, someone just come and speak, and then we can continue. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't know what happened when they went off yesterday. Yay, we got Steve Markey on. How you doing, Steve? And Des SA. Hello, 1910. Not quite sure what that means, but how you doing, mate? Um, Steve Markey, yeah, okay. And Jeremy Ball, how you doing, Jeremy? Big love to Billy. It's his birthday today, I believe. You know, I wish I was that age again. Jesus, and also be doing what he's doing. I mean, every boy's dreaming it. Getting that, get in there and play for the Blues if you can. What a wonderful thing that would be, wouldn't it? If uh, if you had the opportunity. I'm messing around with my lights again. I'm sorry, I can never get this bloody thing right. Jason Brady saying hello. We can get on with these questions if you want, because I know there's going to be a million things I'm going to get asked today about signings and stuff. Um, so Dave was the first one to ask me when is Priscay signing. It's possible, it's done. Um, it's going through. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. You know I don't tell you unless I know. So this is going to happen. We're going to hear something extremely soon. Could be today, could be tomorrow. These things just need the ends tying up and that. But I believe he's had some photos done already, so it's all good. Um, did you like my team earlier? Steve Daniels, I'm not joking, mate. It's one of the worst teams we've ever seen. I mean, it will be funny to sort of see it, but it wouldn't be funny if you were a Blues fan because there's three defenders in that team, and one's a wing back and one's a defensive mid, and one centre half. That team would get absolutely buried. The funniest thing about that was actually, Steve, and I know it was done with your tongue in your cheek, was so many people coming on and going, "Oh yeah, it's a great team." That is, it's like, what? What? Um, I think you did get a bit overexcited there, son. You can't play with that team. But the thing is, I don't think we're ever going to play with five at the back. It's not the way we play football. We might change in a game if we need to close it out. But this formation, it's an interesting thing with the players that we have now because we'll have. Mate, generally, if I was manager, I'd never play that. I know you wouldn't. Um, it's interesting now that we have. I mean, we've got three big players coming in now. Solis and Priscay down down the spine of the team really. So this is a big thing. And then with Ibrahim Osman, he can play. I mean, he predominantly plays wide, and he can play right or left. He can play down the middle, so don't rule him out from doing that. And I think um, I still haven't got my head around what he's going to do with the players. Obviously, I think Chris knows a bit more than I do at the moment about who's going out. So who is going out? I think we're going to complete the signing of Roberts. People are worrying about the amount of loans. We have two of our loans are under 21s, so they don't count towards the five. So we've actually got four loans. Um, Prisgay coming in, no one knows what we're paying for him. People are saying 6 million. No one knows, so don't bother talking about it. Whatever it is, he scored a lot of goals in not many games, 19 goals in 24 games, I believe. He's a kind of centre forward that we've been looking at when we look at the likes of Josh Sargent uh, and Vopotnik, that kind of centre half. He's a little bit slighter in build. He's 6'2". He's one of the best headers in the ball in the Danish league. I think he's like, I don't know, he's in the top sort of three or four uh, attackers in terms of winning stuff in the air. He can hold the ball up, but he's more likely to. He doesn't just hold it up and lay it off. He turns as well. So he's got a lot of tricks in his cupboard, if you want. He's a nice looking player. He's shown the door. Well, I mean, Steve, there is I mean, Williamson, you can have your opinion of him, he ain't going to be shown the door. You can't show him the door. To get rid of Williamson, right? Number one, you have to have someone that wants to buy him. Number two, you have to have a manager that wants to sell him. And I think Chris Davies thinks he has a part to play in the squad. He comes on sometimes. He's big. He can put his foot on the ball. I'm not saying the guy's ever going to start, but he's not a bad squad player. Steve Daniels saying Jeremy Sarmiento links on Sky Sports now. Yeah, I actually seen someone put a Sky link into the group. I don't really like Sky links. I don't like any links, to be honest with you, unless it's something that I know myself. Well, I haven't heard this about Sarmiento, but I must say it looks fairly, it looks fairly good. Good. I mean, the thing that makes me think it's a possibility is that it's Brighton, and we have this link with Brighton. They play in a very similar way that we play. And I hate to say, I was thinking the other day, bloody hell, we like Brighton's nursery team, but things could be worse, of course. My 11 for tonight. Here we go with Lee Harvey. This will be interesting then, Lee. Let's have a look. Beadle, Clara, Wagner, Doyle, Pike, Roberts, Stanhope. Where's the defence, mate? So you got Beadle, you got Clara and Wagner. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've only got 9 players, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got 9 players for a start off, mate. And you've got 2 defenders in that team. So that ain't going to happen. You can forget if anyone's got any ideas about playing like 3 defenders in the team, that ain't going to happen. I mean, come on, use your brains, guys. Clara Wagner, Doyle, Pike, Robert, Stano, Kumas and Duck, that ain't going to happen, mate. There's no way, because where is the defence? Lee, what's your system there? You have to have that, mate. So you'd have Beadle in goal, you'd have Clara in the centre of defence, Wagner Ware on the left, then in front of them you'd have just loads of midfielders. Ain't going to happen, mate. And of course, I think we're going to have Solis playing tonight as well. So there's no Solis there. So I would have Solis in the team. Graham Busby saying, "How you doing, Gray? You all right, mate? How's your old Aco, son?" Steve Dunn is another one playing in the top league. Yeah, Lee Harvey, Iwata. Yeah, so, mate, we're still 2 defenders short there, mate. Yeah, but now, if you put Neumann in there as well, you now got 12 players. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's a hard thing to do. I've looked at this at the thing is the back four more or less speaks for itself at the moment. So I don't know if Neumann's going to be playing or if Robinson's back. If Robinson's fit, Robinson plays. He's the choice now to play with Clara. The two full-backs are going to be Wagner and Iwata. Then you have to look at the middle. Tonight, I think we're only going to have Solis involved. I know they were trying to get the signature of the paperwork for Osman done in time, but I don't. Yesterday was Monday. I don't think I got enough time to do it. I'm not quite sure how it works now. If it happens on Sunday, because that happened on Sunday, I think that signing. Um, we definitely won't be seeing Priscay, although I think he'll be in the squad on Saturday. Hopefully, he's in close season there, but he should be all right. I think. Lee Harvey keep looking. Paz Parish, a local one for me today. Yeah, mate. That's nice for you. Not well. It's not too far, is it? How far is it, Paz? Any space for tonight? Giovanni Taylor Brown wants to know. We don't really do ticket exchanges on here, mate. Use our selling page if you want to do that. BCF, official BCFC selling the project selling page. Go there and you can ask for tickets in there. My 11 tonight. Beadle, Clara, Wagner, Doyle. Hang on a minute. Steve Daniels. That's boring, guys. West Solis, Osman. Osman, I don't think Osman will play. I'd love him to be playing. I was talking to someone on Sunday saying wouldn't it be great if we can get them both in that team, but I don't think that's going to happen. Um, Solis and Doyle in the middle, but you know how much the gaffer likes Pake. We could be playing with three. You know, a formation I was thinking of is a 4-3-2-1. So we don't play with a 10, we play with an 8. You know, like two eights, an 8 and a 10 if you want, but not a traditional 10. One up front, three behind them, who would be Doyle, Pake, and Solis. Uh, you know, Solis doing the linking up between the back four and the front. Doyle and Pike being the ball players, and then probably it would be Roberts and Stansfield, and probably or Robertson, Ducks and Stansfield. I think it'd be Robertson, Stansfield, and Ducks up top. Um, that ain't going to be the team tonight, mate. I can promise you that. That ain't going to be the team tonight. He ain't going to play with one centre half. That ain't going to happen. Um, you can't throw him in if the paperwork hasn't gone anyway. But I don't think he's going to be playing. Solis might be on the bench. We don't know. Steve Gunners definitely won't be, mate. These only 9 players that would, you know. Plus, you can't play with one centre half. There's absolutely no chance unless you want to lose. Um, keep looking. Fuck's sake, pressed it by mistake when typing. Can't keep going back to it, mate. It's right up there. You have to put it back in if you want. Devani, Taylor, Brown, Sound, Mike, nice one. Brian Busby, we need to get something up there. Yeah, well, we should be winning that game. They've lost the last 3 and they haven't scored in 3 games. There's a lot of problem there, obviously, you know there is. Um, what about Jeremy on loan? Who we're talking about? Can you just expand on that a little bit? Thomas Ryan, France. Davari Taylor Brown, I think. Pake's ball control is out of this world, but he's not strong enough. He isn't strong, but that's why we've got Solis. We lack that particular bit of muscle in the middle of the pitch. That's what Solis is going to give us, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Um, Steve Daniels is you put 9 players, Lee. You know, come on. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing how we would play Prisk as well. So I'm thinking if we did play that 4-3-2-1, which I think is a possibility with the players that we've signed, it's going to be difficult to sort of set them up the way we set up exactly now. Steve was asking me about Priscay. Yeah, it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen today. I think he's had photos done, but it's going to happen. Don't panic about this one, right? You know me, I don't say unless I'm certain it's going through, which is going through. We told you about, we missed Wagner actually, to be honest. We did, never got that one. But I told you about Solis, I told you about Osman. First thing yesterday morning, I told you about Osman. That wasn't announced till late in the afternoon. And I didn't, honestly, 3 days ago, I knew nothing about Priscay. Now I do, and I think it's going through. So don't panic. You know, everyone a couple of days ago said, "Oh my God, we signed no one yet. We signed no one yet. We signed 3 people in the space of a few days. It's going to be number 4. We got a left-sided centre half coming in. That's going to be number 5, and I think we're probably going to have one other. That could be Sarmiento. We don't know. I'm really not sure. Um, let's wait and see. Uh, you know, for me, that team. I just can't wait to see what it's going to look like on Saturday because Stoke could be in for a bit of a, you know, if we're all up for it and the players fit and everything's good, then brilliant, you know. Uh, but you got to give these players a little bit of time to settle in. None of them have played in the Championship. I do believe that Osman's played a couple of times for Brighton, probably. I think I've seen photos of him playing in a Brighton shirt. So let's see. Lee Harvey playing a simple must-win game. No draws. Teams below us catching up now. Don't want to be falling. We're not going to go through any trapdoor. What we want to do, obviously, is push towards the top. Steve Daniels is saying could be a fantastic window. Honestly, this window has surprised me. I did say that we weren't going to buy any players that you've ever heard of. You know, you may not have heard of Priscay, you may not have heard of Solis, and you may uh, and you may not have heard of Osman. In fact, I'm pretty sure you haven't. So there's 3 players, but when you look at them, you can see how good they are. I bet them to finish in top 6. It could happen, Graham. You know, it's like we were talking about it yesterday, and I got so rudely cut off by myself. I turned my own commenting off. Um, it's going to take 2 points a game, really, for the rest of the season, I think, for us to make sure we get in there. Um, can we do 2 points a game? You know, so starting last week we got one. We win tonight. We're on 2 points a game, aren't we? We win against Stoke. We're then on more than 2 points a game. So that's how we got to look at it now. Unless a lot of teams towards the top of the table have absolute disasters, which is possible in this division, of course. Osman, Priscay, Solis, Sarmiento. No, you've missed Wagner off there, Steve. If Sarmiento came in, that would be 5. I don't know anything about this, so I'm not going to like be hyping this Sarmiento move. Um, Although it is possible, and the reason I say it is because of Brighton. I think one very good defender in, and we're flying there. Yeah, we're going to get a left-sided centre half in. I don't know the name yet, but just bear with me. As soon as I find something out, you'll be the first to know. Well, you won't, but I'll let you know when I think that we can. Um, it's what we always do, you know. I don't. What you have to protect as well is people that you know your sources, and um, you have to be careful about when you know when you say things and when you let things out, and of course you do. You know, it's not. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, whether I tell you now or I tell you, or you find out yourself later in the day, like with Prisco when he goes through, everyone's dying to like be the person that breaks the news. We're not really into that, you know. Thing a lot of the other sites, and we had someone the other day saying, you know, you know, it was on such and such a post. You know, they told you that Prisco was going to start, but they also put 25 other people in there, so they got 2 out of 25 right. Listen, you can put every single person that's mentioned in your group if you want to mislead people, but we don't want to do that. Um, we want to tell you it as it happens, and I'm sure you trust me on that, because you can see we very, very rarely get anything wrong, and we don't wait until the signing's gone through. If we know, we'll tell you. If we absolutely know, and even then it can go wrong at the last minute. Um, so tonight's game, I'm looking forward to it. They've got a lot of problems, of course they have, and of course now your little fella in the middle, Bannon, wants out. So I don't know what's happened there. They've got a new manager possibly coming in, but who would go at the moment? It's a basket case. I mean, they're relegated, really, aren't they? They've had 2 points deductions. They've got no money. They're, Chansiri just completely destroyed the club. If he ever gets near a football club again, something needs to happen because it's just so bad. That is, what Chansiri did to that club. I feel really sorry for them because we've been there ourselves, and it just isn't nice, is it? It really is horrible. Um, so come on and let me have your thoughts on the new signings. Of course, we can watch these YouTube videos forever, and it's never going to tell us what they're going to be like when they play because they're not going to put their worst moments on there. It'd be quite good if they did, wouldn't it? Andrew Williams is saying won't be easy tonight. Trust me. I don't think it's going to be that. Listen, no game in the Championship is easy, but I don't think this is going to cause too many problems for us tonight. What we've got to make sure is that we stay switched on. The back four has to remain switched on. They're going to have a back five like they usually do, with wing backs, which usually means that we're going to see the low blocking action. So, Neumann, Clara, Wagner have to stay switched on. We got caught with it on Saturday. All three really were at fault in a way. Wagner got done. Clara went over to cover him. Neumann didn't cover Clara. Clara was like a little bit, weren't sure whether to go or not because I don't think he's looking behind him for Wagner, for Neumann. Where is he? We don't need to have that sort of indecision amongst our defenders. I hope Robinson's playing. If he isn't and it's Neumann, okay, they have to stay switched on. If we have this new left-sided centre back coming in, then even better. We need to get an established back four that are used to playing with each other. That's where our defence has gone wrong this season. Look at the difference at the different pairings that we've had at centre half this season. It's one of our big issues. Lee obviously I'm nothing till I see them play. No, you can't. I know what you're saying, Lee. We can't say that, I mean, we don't know what they're going to play like, but you would have to look at the quality of the two teams, and you would have to really fall down on the side of Blues. Although we're not sure yet if Solis is playing. I don't know whether Robinson's fit or not, Lee. So I don't know if it's going to be if Robinson's fit and Norman doesn't play. I think that's pretty well decided. But if he is fit, if he isn't fit, then yeah, it's got to be Neumann really. Although I did have a little think that on the bench we've got a centre half there who captain of the under 21s can play. He's two-footed. He can play left side or right sided. He's a good centre half, but would we want to throw him into the deep end like that? It's a lot for a young lad. Um, After this window, I don't see we're going to get many of the under 21s on the bench again because someone mentioned it earlier. They was talking about Donovan and saying that like we don't, why don't we bring the under 21s through? When you buy a new squad of players and you've got 25 in the squad and that's it, you can't drop any of them for someone on the bench. And it would be like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, then let's not buy two of the four that we just about to buy, and let's put two of the young kids in. Would you be all right with that? No, you wouldn't. So think before you speak. Um, it's not easy when you have a massive clear out like we did to bring the young kids through, and that's why a lot of the youngsters are looking for loans away. Problem is, teams that want to get youngsters on loan want them to have had a little bit of first team experience, and none of ours have really had any. So it's a really, really tough tough one to call. Um, it is. I'm not. I think my thoughts on Neumann. I mean, he's all right. He's okay for a squad centre half, but I think the first two has to be Clara plus a left-sided player, and at the moment we haven't got that. If Robinson's injured, so we got to stay cool with this. Um, everyone all right there? Come and say hello. Come and speak again because I'm starting to worry now about these things being turned off. I haven't turned them off before, but I was talking to someone yesterday that said if there's an awful lot of messages, sometimes Facebook will turn it off. So I honestly don't know about that, but we'll find out. I'm having a little look here, see if anyone's messaged me to say, no, it's off, it's off, on my private messages. Rebecca, hi bro, I'm stuck at the gym today. This is Paul James. I'm just having a little look through my messages. Oh, we got a message. I was panicking then, Steve. Score tonight. I'll be happy. I don't like to do score predictions, but I'm just going to be happy with 3 points. We come away from there tonight with 3 points. We've had one defeat in seven, 1-2, drawn four and lost one. It's not ideal. We've drawn too many games. Those home draws could cost us at the end of the season, because we could really be 5 points better off, I think. Steve Rudd saying, I can see comments, you're all good. Yeah, yeah, I can see him as well now, mate. I'm like that with this Facebook thing, because I got so used to blaming it before, and now after what happened yesterday, I think, oh Jesus! But I might, because there's so many comments, I'm constantly having to click, and I might click something that said "shut them up" or something. I would shut you up. I love you all too much, and we have a bit of a crack, don't we? As well as talking about the game and about what we do, about what's happening at the club. Andrew Williams is saying that we need an early goal. What we do need, Andrew, is not to concede an early goal. That's what we need. We do not need to concede that first goal. When went a goal down at Swansea on Saturday, I'm like, here we go again. It was almost unbelievable. It was 20 minutes or something when and you think, how can this keep happening? And how can the defenders just switch off like that? Uh, and I'm honestly going to put, I think our fault this season, and I think people are looking not too much into it, but you're looking a little bit too much at the lack of, balls through for strikers and stuff. Listen, if Kyogo had any more chances, I don't know how many balls through he wants to score a goal. Stansfield scored 9, I think. Duxer scored 6. You know, the fault with our issues this season have risen from the back four. That's my opinion. It's been changed around so much. Iwata obviously doesn't really defend because he gets forward and goes into the middle of the park. So the back three has been a mixture, hasn't it? We've had Clara on the right, we've had Clara on the left, we've had Neumann on the right, and we've had Robinson on the left, and we've had Cashin on the left. And it just hasn't worked, has it? And I think that lack of understanding between them uh, costs us all the time because they don't know how each other play well enough, particularly on a game by game basis. And I think that's really cost us this season. I think we're all looking in the wrong area if we're looking at what's happening up front, because you can't you can't defend like that. If you defend like that, you're going to lose more games than you win. And at the moment, that's exactly what we're doing. I think we've lost 10 and we've won 9 or something like that. So, we need to stay switched on, not concede early. We've got these new players coming in. If Solis plays, absolutely brilliant. Leo was saying, Kyogo, we should have let him go back to Celtic when Martin wanted him. He's dreadful. I don't think Martin O'Neill wanted him, to be honest. I weren't sure. I think they were playing games, Blues and Celtic. I wouldn't say he's dreadful. He's one of those, he's like Williamson. Someone was saying earlier, Williamson, get rid of him. Number one, you can't just get rid of him, and the same with Kyogo. But he's probably someone who you can bring on with like 10 or 15 minutes to go, and he bulks the team out, and he'll run at defenders, and he'll worry them when they're tired. Like, if you put Williamson on, he's a bit clumsy, I know, but he can sit back. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah, Davies don't play for us anymore, Gaz. Graham does he? Davies and Graham did work, but Davies didn't want to stay. He can't get a place now, so he's struggling a little bit. Reece Williams is just telling us that August has been announced, so there you go. I told you it was going to happen today, didn't I? Those photos were taken yesterday afternoon. Lee Harvey, he said on Sky, Steve. Um, Yeah, but I think I seen an interview with him, Lee, saying that he don't he's not really going to pursue it, and Kyogo wants to stay at Blues, and Blues are going to give him the opportunity, and he doesn't blame him. That's why I heard Martin O'Neill say. I don't know, I might be wrong. Williamson saying, mate, goofy player does fuck all well, I don't know what goofy, but that's a bit of an American thing, isn't it, mate? Williamson has been all right for us. Let me tell you, last season, at the start of last season, he was Thor. He was a big player for us, and I think he's all right. To be honest, uh, he's all right as a squad player. Reece Williams is saying that he's posted on Instagram on Reels good. That's some of our moderators this morning were saying to put it in the group, in the moderation group. Anyone heard any more about Prisk? Okay, I told you yesterday he's coming. He's going to come later. Be patient, be patient. Ah, Jesus. When your own team starts asking you the questions, come on. You know me better than that. So we've got Prisk. I don't think, unless, listen, if they managed to get that paperwork through yesterday, I mean, Jesus, we could have 3 new players in the team. It ain't going to happen. But I think tonight we're going to see Solis, and I think Prisk and Prisk be in the stand. Osman might be on the bench. I don't know. I'd love to see all three. Listen, I'd love to see Osman and Solis in that team tonight, because they're both going to be wanting to impress. Osman is dynamic. I think he'd pull that defence apart. He's so fast. Um, Solis in the middle. Giving Bannon a little bit of a bad time. Come on, Chris, get them both in. Come on, come on. So we've got the 4 in then, as I said, I think at 6 o'clock this morning. I put it in a post that let's talk about the 4 new signings, and we now have 4 as predicted. I don't know, like when you look at the 4 of them, they are it's a third of a team, isn't it? So we've got this brand new left back, and it's good that we've got him, because unfortunately Cochrane is out for a few months. Um, I was saying the other night, players that make dynamic movements tend to get hamstrings more than anyone else. So Cochrane, I'm guessing it's a hamstring. And then, so we got that left back. We got Solis down in the middle, who I think is going to be a revelation for us. I really do. We got Prisk in the middle, down the centre. Absolutely brilliant if we have Stansfield behind him with Osman on the left and Roberts on the right, and then you've got Dimmy to come back. What are you going to do? Where are you going to put Dimmy? But like I said yesterday, I think we're going to play a little bit more in-game rotation. So, but I hope it isn't like it's been in the past. I don't like it when there's like 4 changes on 60 minutes or something, because I think it sort of disturbs the team too much. It makes us lose our rhythm. I'd much rather see like a change on 45, a change on 60, a change on 70, a change on 80, something like that, so that it sort of smoothly comes in. When you put three subs on together, the whole team changes. And I've seen it so many times this season, when we're playing quite well and we're looking good, and the subs come on 60, 65, and it just like changes the way we look. So I know, I hope that that's sort of how we approach this. So you can put Osman. Like, imagine having Osman to deal with for, uh, you know, 50 minutes, and then on 50 minutes, who's warming up and who comes on? Dimmy Gray. I mean, that fullback is just want to leave the country, isn't he? And then you've got the big lad up front there, August Priscay, and he goes off, and who comes on? Ducks or Stansfield, or you throw Kyogo on with 10 minutes to go to run them into the ground. We have a lot of options now, and that is really, really good. So come and speak to me again, or have our comments gone off again? So I'm all paranoid now about this. I thought all my paranoia for Facebook had gone. Um, we got 60 odd comments, so I think we're. I don't think that's. Honestly think Facebook turned it off yesterday. Someone said to me that when you get lots and lots and lots of comments piling up like that, sometimes uh, Facebook just turns comments off. I don't know. So, and Andrew Williams is saying, "All good, thanks, Andrew." I just need that little bit of assurance sometimes, mate. You know what I'm like. I need an arm around me, and it'll be all right, Steve. The comments are on. You sure? Yeah. Thank you. Keep talking. Come on. We're all excited today. 4 new players in. The transfer window is still open for another 10 days. We have got a central left-sided central defender coming in. Sarmiento, is it possible? What a signing that would be as well. If I mean, Jesus. But it's a developing team. The players that we bought in the last 4 days, obviously not Wagner, but Solis, um, Osman, and Priscay are all young players. These are all in their early 20s. This is good. This is what we want, isn't it? If we get a left-sided centre half who's young, absolutely brilliant, play him alongside Clara. Right-sided full-back, we're going to have a few coming back soon, aren't we? Lee Harvey says, looking forward to seeing the team sheet to out a few noses, put a new phase out to prize when I'm right. You won't be right, mate. I promise you, Lee, we ain't going to play with one centre half. Right, so what you're saying is Neumann ain't playing, Robinson ain't playing. It's the back. There's going to be a back three of Clara, Iwata, and Wagner. And Wagner is the attacking fullback. So our two central defenders are going to be Iwata and Clara. It ain't going to happen. It's not unless Chris Davis has been on the wacky backy or something. Steve Rudd, in your opinion, is guards the technical director to get us to the next level? This window's looking good. If they come off, yeah, I do. I think so. I mean, it doesn't. Steve Rudd, he's asking the question about Gardner. Is the man? Is he the technical director to get us there? He at least just saying he put Neumann into that back four. All right, and so you got Neumann and Clara and Iwata and and Wagner. Well, that's what it was in the last game, mate. So I don't know what difference he made there, but anyway, let's see. None of us know what the team's going to be. Des Fox is telling me that he's signed. Fucking get in. We knew it, didn't we? We knew it. You've got to be patient with these things. So, in your opinion, Steve Brody's asking me, is Gardner the technical director to get us to the next level? This window is looking good if they come off on match days. Yeah, I do think he is, and more important than that, Steve, is that Tom Wagner thinks he is. Um, Tom Wagner is the man that's right behind Gardner, absolutely he is. And Jeremy Dale is too. They work closely with him, and I think it's fine. Uh, I think it's going to be good. It isn't one person that drives all this. It isn't just down to Gardner. It's down to software. It's down to Mike Rigg. It's down to a lot of different people who are behind the players coming in. So I think we have to look at it and we have to see what's come out of it. We had a few disappointments in the summer, but we're a different we're a different animal now, aren't we? We didn't have a good summer, so that's not the end of it, is it? So Tom Wagner just goes in and brings all of these four absolutely great signings out at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. Andrew Williams saying, must remember, if it wasn't for Gardner, there wouldn't be a Tom Wagner. Yeah, well, I mean, more Jeremy Dale, to be honest, Andrew, but definitely Craig Gardner was involved in that, removing the Chinese, and of course, so was Anthony Routley, Keith, and Dave Taylor, and people like that, who went under the radar. Really, they just got on with it and managed to get rid of the awful Chinese owners that we had before. Steve Daniels is, we're cooking, son. We're cooking. Come on, Stevie boy. Steve Daniels said we're really cooking now. Steve Rudd, got to go teach now. Come on, the Blues. Let's have three tonight, son. You Cockney, Steve. Go and teach, son. Don't you teaching? What are you teaching, mate? Cockney rhyming slang or something? Huh? What is it? Hey, hey. Don't bust my balls on this one. Um, Listen, what a great window this has been so far. If we'd have said, we had Wagner in last weekend, everyone's going, oh bloody hell, is that going to be it? We're not going to sign anyone. It's too late. You're leaving it too long. Look at the three players you just signed, man. Come on, fucking hell, absolutely brilliant. We'll have to tell them though that before they come out tonight, to have a look at their YouTube videos and do the same thing, all right? Prisco won't be playing. Osman, I hope Osman plays. I hope they got him through in time. And of course, Solis, I think will be with us tonight. Steve Jones saying, I think the recruitment team, by making a few mistakes at the start, they're really starting to make changes. They need to work now. Like Wagner said, it's a matter of when, not what. That's exactly it, Stephen. And it's not a matter of if, because like I just said, we didn't have a particularly good summer window, but then what do? We just have a good winter one instead. There's no blame, there's no finger pointing, there's no getting rid of people. We need to remain stable as a club, stable as a team, as management team, as directors, as owners. Need to remain stable and to support each other, and not have this thing where you drop a manager at the first opportunity. I think we got stung with Rooney because of Gary Cook, and I don't. I think he was like just a bad choice. I think Tom Wagner fell for it, and I don't think he's going to fall for anything like that again. Steve Jones saying this team will only get better and stronger. Yeah, we're all happy at the moment, aren't we? Jesus, I'll have to I don't know, take a photo or something. That's my photo face. Fucking hurts as well. I hate smiling. Um, Yeah, so what an absolutely fabulous couple of days. Some great signings. Sarmiento, could that happen? I've gone quiet because I'm thinking. And, something, if it wasn't Brighton, I'd be thinking no. But since it's Brighton, I'm thinking maybe. Uh, Lee Harvey says Steve Daniels, Wagner, good players get stuck in. Yeah, Lee. I'm sure he's going to be a fine signing, Wagner. He got caught on Saturday, and I think what he's got to learn is there are no mugs in the Championship, and he got properly done. He just has to get in his head that he is what he is. Don't think he's above himself, because it's easy to believe the hype, So for Wagner, I think he has to remember that when Iwata is forward, he defends, and then when the two centre halves see Wagner going forward and Iwata steps in, then they have to move over. We got caught so badly on Saturday. It was a poor goal to give away. Um, but I think Wagner's a great signing. He's that little bit of experience left back. We've got Louis Buchanan coming back, one of the best left backs in that division. We've got Ethan Laird coming back, one of the best right backs in that division. We will have Brighter Side Samuel available tonight if we wish to use him. We have got Scott Wright back. We've got Dimmy Gray waiting to return, probably another few weeks yet. Listen, we have got some real quality, haven't we now? You put the three on top of that. Jesus, we've got some good players. We're going to be, fancy dans, aren't we? Gold numbers, blue shirts, young players. Ah, I'm excited, as you can probably tell. Um, if I hear anything on that left-sided centre half, by the way, I will let you know. That was Neumann's fault for not marking his man. Then the player scored. Yeah, it was a mixture, Lee. I mean, what happened to start that move was Wagner got done on the left. He doesn't get beaten by Franco, I think his name is. Then that goal doesn't happen, because Clara had to come across to cover Wagner, who was on his arse. And then he's looking over his shoulder to see if Neumann's coming. Neumann was slow to come. Clara got done. The ball goes in. Wagner, sorry, Neumann is running behind Vopotnik into the net. I hate to see that. Definitely, like, Neumann didn't have his man, but the initial fault was that we lost possession on that left hand side, and that was the initial issue. But it happens, and everyone learns from mistakes. I'm sure that he's watched that time and time again, and he'll be learning from that. English football's a lot different to the MSL, particularly the Championship. It's one of the hardest and fastest uh, football leagues in the world. It's completely different to Premier League, which is slower. You watch Premier League football, I think it's boring sometimes. I don't really watch much of it, because I want to watch the league that we're in. Um, and But I do watch some Premier League football, and to me, sometimes it's boring in it. Uh, it is. The other thing to take from that game on Saturday, I think the one the goal, Wagner was obviously instrumental in that league. Wagner for me was the one that made that goal. He went down the left, he put the ball into Ducks. I think Ducks got a little bit lucky with his flick. I'm not taking it away from him. He flicked it, but when that flick went up, the ball was up here on the centre half's chest almost. And what Roberts did was just absolutely fabulous. He took that ball off his chest with his left foot, brought it down, and then took it out with his right. Now, Wagner, Roberts is left-footed, and he plays on the right wing, and two touches on the right foot, and then that finish was absolutely unstoppable. What a great goal! Yeah, Lee. We all have our. How you doing, Paul? Paul James is here with us. I don't. Listen, everyone likes a different thing. I don't particularly like the Premier League product, and I think it's such a closed shop, the Premier League is. So when you get up there, when we get promoted, if we want to get into that top bracket to the Premier League, it's going to take a long time. So it's sort of, I don't want to be there. I wish you could win the Championship and then stay in the Championship, but get all the money. Matthew Butler, very pleased with our new signing so far. It's been absolutely brilliant window, hasn't it, Matthew? I think everyone's agreed on that. Yeah, well done to the recruitment team. We're saying this, we haven't seen them play yet, and I know that everyone was saying a few weeks ago, a few days ago, what we need to do is buy championship players who know how to play in the championship. Is that what you want? I wouldn't swap these for. These are players we're looking at now. We realise how good they are. Come on, Harry Parker, you're early. I'm like just seeing the Priscay signing confirmed. That's really exciting. Well done, Craig Gardner and Mike Rigg. Agree about the Premiership. Rather watch the Championship. I would as well. Absolutely, definitely. And Mike Rigg has done a good job. Yeah, I think all of our team has. We were excited. I mean, like I said, I heard properly about Priscay late, um, probably Monday morning. It's Tuesday now, isn't it? Uh, I think Sunday we put out that Solis was coming. Monday afternoon, or was it Monday morning? I put out a post. Priscay looks like he's going to be coming. Then I found out later on he definitely is coming. And then it's like, is this really happening? It was just happened so fast. Um, the the staff at St Andrews and at the training ground must be like, Jesus, who are all these people coming in? Paul James, good news about Priscay, yeah, and let's hope that he just beds in properly, that we use him the way that he can be used. He can be used in a number of ways. Good in the air, by no means a target man. He'll come deep for the ball, he'll lay it off, he'll attack. Priscay started Gardens against Chelsea in the Conference League semi-final European experience. Yeah, Solis has got European experience as well. Of course he has. He played for Girona. Um, so we've got players with European Cup experience. Not that that is that important to us. What we need, is obviously that experience is absolutely fantastic for any player to have, and he doesn't take anything away from them. But what we need with these players is that willingness to work. People were talking about. Keshi yesterday, and someone said, well, he's Keshi like he's so he's asked for an upgrade on Keshi. What you're looking at here is two completely different animals, and I think with Keshi as well. Listen, he did all right for us. He was great in the Championship. He was great in League One. He wasn't great in his last season in the Championship. He's great in League One. He's been all right this season. But I think he got to the point where he was starting to disrupt the dressing room. And when that happens in the Chris Davis team, you ain't going to last long. But I honestly think the same thing happened with Leonard. We know that, I was surprised when Leonard didn't start after Pake had been dropped, because usually when players play well, they stay in the team with Chris Davis. But he decided no, and if it's a no, it's a no, and you've got to understand that. Um, and if you're not happy, then you can say you're not happy, but you haven't got to make an issue of it. And they can leave at the first possible opportunity. And I think Leonard will be going. Keshi went. That dressing room has to work around Chris Davis. If it doesn't work around Chris Davis, you ain't going to stay very long, and let's hope these players are. I'm pretty sure they are, because we wouldn't have signed them otherwise. They would have brought up to the project and the way it's supposed to be. And what you've got to think about these lads as well is that they're all early 20s. So these lads are players that could take us into the Premier League easily. So this is a massive opportunity for them as well. Will Stir is on. Uh, August is now confirmed. Will saying will be starting against Stoke. We don't know if he'll be starting against Stoke. It's like I was saying earlier about Solis. I hope he starts tonight, or Solis, as he's known. Um, I hope he starts tonight, but he's by no means a definite. He might be on the bench. Lee Harvey, Chris D is very stubborn. If you don't like you, no matter how good you are, you won't play. Well, you're probably right there because one of the most important things in the dressing room is to have a dressing room that's together. You can't have any big time Charlies. You can't have any people that think they're better than everyone else. And you could be in that dressing room and like Lee's saying there, you could be Johan Cruyff, and if your face don't fit and you cause problems, you ain't playing, and I think that's fair enough. I don't know if that's stubborn or if that's good man management. That's what I think it is because when you make that stance against a couple of players, everyone else sees it and they think twice before causing that sort of problem. A weak manager loses a dressing room. A strong manager doesn't. Paul Jones is saying, get him going tonight, Will. We can't get him in tonight. He's not going to be. He obviously isn't going to be um, eligible to play this evening. You only have to look at Donovan. Donovan was a different thing. Lee Donovan actually didn't want to play, and he went away on loan. I can't remember where he went. Burton, and he didn't do very well at Burton. They sent him back. By the time they'd sent him back, we'd got a lot of new players in, and he was back because what happened was Rooney brought him into the squad when Rooney was in charge from the under 21s. So then what happened was he then went out on loan to get some experience with Burton. He bombed it at Burton. Burton didn't want him. They sent him back. When he came back, he was put back into under 21s. I think he thought he was going to go back onto the bench or back around the first team. Went back to under 21s, pissed him off. He had a pretty bad attitude and wanted to leave. And so when that happens, there's the door. That's what happened with Donovan. Lee Harvey wasn't given a chance, always sent to him. Well, you can't, like I was saying earlier, Lee, it's like you could say now then, let's just say Donovan was here now then, okay? So who are we going to drop out of that squad to put Donovan on the bench? Are we going to send Osman into the under 21s? Are we going to drop Roberts, players that Donovan might play? Doyle, leave Doyle out of the squad and bring Donovan in because we had a complete chance. We had a complete change of playing staff. We literally had, I forget what the squad size last season, it's less than it is now, but we literally had a full squad of first team players, 20, I think 18 of them were new. So you can't, what you're going to do, buy new players. So by the way, like you can't get in the squad because I want to give this under 21 kid a chance. It doesn't work like that, and you just got to be. You have to be understanding of that. I'm sure no one at the club wanted that to happen to Donovan. It was unfortunate the way it happened. Personally, I think Rooney brought him in too fast. Rooney doesn't bring him in that quick, then that situation doesn't arise. But what happened was he went to Burton. He had a bad attitude at Burton. When they sent him back, he was pissed off because he was in the 21s, and he left. He wanted to leave. And Brentford is a great move for him. We got 3.5 million. He's played like 3 minutes for Brentford. So, he'll be out on loan or whatever. Whilst if players don't play our system, they can play somewhere else. No player should be bigger than the club. CD has us playing some great football at times. He does, yeah. And everyone must perform and do their bit. Uh, the system we have now means you're exposed if you don't stick to the system. Well, it has to be, that's the whole thing. What we've got is a system and we put players in. We don't get players and play around the players, and that to me is a strength. Paul Jones saying, are we done now in the window? No, we're not. Just wondering, brilliant window if we have anyway. No, Paul, we've got a left-sided centre half to come in, and I think we've got one other to come in. So hopefully uh, that left-sided centre half, possibly before the weekend, I think. I don't know enough about it to be able to tell you definitely, but I think it's already sort of, we know who it is. something, he's holding it up at the moment. I'm not sure, and I don't know about the other one. But this could possibly be another. I don't know. Like, I don't know if we need anyone else. To be honest. But I've heard that two more are coming, so let's wait and see. Great that, in case you've just come on, August Priscay has been announced as a new signing, so that's good. Absolutely brilliant. We sort of knew, well, I knew from yesterday morning that was going to happen, but I was late finding out about that. But I can only go by what people tell me. So, and people that we trust. We only put stuff in there in the group. We only tell you about definite signings when I know they're definite, and you know that. Um, Paul James. Oh, yeah, I just found out. Paul, yeah, he signed, son. He signed. Um, yeah, so there's an hour that's gone pretty quickly, hasn't it? I've enjoyed talking today, and it's nice to get everyone's views. We all have our own views, as we've seen from a few, from Steve's team earlier to Lee's team to, I don't know what team I would pick for tonight. I think I've already said it, haven't I, with a 4-3-2-1, possibly, or, um, could be playing three in front of the back four tonight. But I think it's more likely tonight that we start with Doyle and Pake and Solis is on the bench. That's what I think. And then, we'll see how the game goes and see where we're going to put him in. He can play, he could play behind the front two. He's not really an attacking he's not really, an attacking midfielder, but I think he's so powerful and strong. You're going to see it tonight. You're going to see his strength. Paul Jones saying no. You're saying about more to come. Yeah, we got. I think there's two more to come. One of them is going to be a left-sided centre half, and another one. I don't know. Honestly, don't know the other one. If we find out, I'll let you know. Um, but I know I've let a couple of things go into the group on links. One I put in myself uh, Sunday, I think, which is a link about Osman because I knew that was going to happen, and the other one was a link earlier about the Brighton player Sarmiento, uh, which I wouldn't have put it in if I hadn't seen it was Brighton, because the relationship we have with Brighton is very good. We had we've had a lot of players from Brighton over the last few years, but particularly this season, we've had Beadle, we've had Cashin, uh, we've now got Osman, and if Sarmiento followed, it wouldn't be a surprise to me. So I think that's really good going. You know, that sort of relationship with the Premier League club is good, and proper Premier League team. Brighton, I think, as Pete Allen said to me the other day, Brighton have had Chelsea's pants down so many times with some of the players they've sold them because they're just like a conveyor belt of quality talent, aren't they? And if we're getting involved with some of that, then brilliant. We've seen how much the goalkeeper has come on. James Beadle has come on so much over the last 3 months, and I honestly think that Saturday just gone was his best game of the season so far. He's commanding his box better. He's holding the ball more. Um, if anything could be, if anything negative could be said against him is sometimes his wrists aren't strong enough on turning when he parries away, and sometimes perhaps parries when he doesn't absolutely need to. But if it's his judgment that he has to parry it, then he's the one that's in his head and what he can see, not us. So, we're watching from a different angle. So let's just see. Beadle's been a great player for us this season. He's a fantastic young goalkeeper. We've got a really good young forward joining us in Osman. I say forward because I don't want to say as a winger because I think we could even play him through the middle. Um, he's he's got 2 feet. He's strong. He's another one that's a powerhouse. He's rough. He'll have it. He'll have it. And then we've got Priscay, who He's this big centre half, a centre forward who can 6'2". He's not the biggest, but he's big. He can hold the ball up if we need him to. He can pin a centre half down, and hold the ball up. Another way he can play is to play on the turn, take a centre half on left or right, beat him either side, and also he can put the ball at his feet and attack. So I really think that those signings are really, really good. We've seen what Wagner is like. I think really, uh, and Patrick Roberts, I think, is going to be signing any moment soon. That could be the other one, actually, thinking about it. Patrick Roberts is going to be going through, and I think Lewis Kumas will go back to Liverpool before the 30th of January. But thank you to Liverpool for allowing us to keep him for that extra little bit of time when Dimmy was out, because he should have gone back on the 15th. So we've had him 5 more days than we should have. But I think Kumas will go back now that we've got Osman in. Um, I'm trying to think of the others. Obviously we've got the ongoing issue with Kanya and with Kyogo, although Kyogo wouldn't be bad to keep as a squad player. Um, we spoke about Williamson. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. Leonard, I think, will be on his way. Uh, and then it depends when we get our injured players back what the score is. I'm not sure about Scott Wright's future. We've got to see what he's like and how he gets over his injury and if he can make an impression. But he's behind Roberts, he's behind Osman, he's behind um, Dimmy. So Scott Wright will have his hands full to get back into that squad. Scott Wright is very similar to Patrick Roberts in a way. He'll cut inside. You can come in as a number 8 from wide when we've got a player like Laird going forward. So he's a good player, Scott Wright. But I think with this window, I think we've gone up a gear again. So I think we're just advancing through the gears, and 2 points a game, and we can get in there. We just don't know. We just got to keep our head down, keep winning. This is when we need to produce the goods right now. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want to thank you very much for joining me for the last 1 hour and 7 minutes so far. And Lee, Steve, Paul, all you guys that come on so regularly. Billy's been on, which is nice to see him on for a change. I ain't seen him for a while on the group. We even had Harry on. I've seen Harry on here for Steve Daniels, of course. Um, Paul James, Harry Parker, all you guys today, Matthew Butler. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping company for this last hour. It's an exciting day, isn't it? And there's more to come. So keep your eyes peeled. Watch for our page, because we always tell you the truth. If it's going to happen, we usually know about it, but not always. We might hear a whisper, but we don't put it out there. So, and let's keep our fingers crossed with Sarmiento. I'm going to leave it on there and see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I've got the right arm. I haven't got the wrong bloody arm again. Look, there you go. Keep right on. 3 points tonight at Sheffield. If you're going, enjoy yourself, stay safe, and bring the 3 points home for us, guys. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day. Come on, you Blues.